Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. Today we have another devblog and it's for another 9.0 vehicle. This is the premium version of what we see in game already as the XM1 and also the T55AM. It seems like they are pushing now pretty much the rank 6 premiums, which are actually labeled as rank 5s, the 9.0s, and that is completely fine if they want to do it. Just as a personal opinion, I really don't like these 9.0 premiums. I think buying yourself into top tier is a terrible idea. But anyway, what I'm going to do is take that opinion, throw it out the window. I just wanted to get that out there before anybody accuses me of shilling or anything for these. But yeah, just understand that 9.0s for premiums are not a good idea. Anyway, this is a Leopard 1 with the Rheinmetall 120mm L44, or as a lot of people know it as, the Leopard 1A6. Now, it is kind of interesting that they haven't called it the Leopard 1A6, because there was two Leopard 1A6s, as I said before, one which was mounted with some kind of weird 150mm, and then this one, the 120mm. So maybe that's why they haven't named it the Leopard 1A6, or maybe they're putting the other one in the tree as the Leopard 1A6, who knows, but it just seems a little bit odd. Now, when I had a look at the stats of this vehicle, when I was researching for that video, the rumor recap, the main thing to take away what I read was it was an A1A1 which had a 120 on it, and that seems to be exactly what we see in game. There's no bells, no whistles, just the performance of an A1A1 with a 120. So let's see if the extra weight is going to make a difference. The late prototype of the Leopard 1, developed in the 1980s, is a proof of concept that the Rheinmetall 120mm could be fitted on the Leopard 1 chassis. The highly interested member of the Leopard 1 family will soon join the ranks of the German Ground Forces tree as a new rank 5 premium vehicle coming to the game with the release of Update 1.81. Ah yes, that wonderful 9.0 rank 5. Okay. So, with that said, the history of this vehicle, the Leopard 1 with the Rheinmetall 120, is kind of funny. Funny is the wrong word. Interesting is the right word. So, whenever you have an older tank and it's starting to get taken over by others, so around the mid-80s, which is when this thing was at least in its prominence in the prototype stage, you had stuff like the 2AV, they were starting to build the first production Leopard 2s, you obviously had all the prototype Leopard 2s, and with that, the Leopard 1s were kind of put to the side and said, you go die in that graveyard over there. Well, Rheinmetall decided, why not give it a go? Why not take an A1A1 and stick a 120 on it? And the reason to do this is not just for the German army to use it as kind of a cheaper version of stuff they were already trying to build, but also to export. One thing you've got to understand is a lot of tanks which are usually weaker than a main battle tank from a nation will be exported. A lot of people always bring up the T-72s that were given to other nations by the Soviets, which were definitely weaker than the ones that the Soviets themselves were using. The Challenger tanks that are used, I believe, by Saudi Arabia, which have all of the armor stripped out, and same with the Abrams with others. Also, the Leopard 2s that are given to other nations have definitely weaknesses compared to the German counterpart. So all of these are something to think about. And with the A1A1 and with the 120, you can understand why it would be a pretty good actual, export vehicle. You still get the speed, you get the maneuverability, you get the 120, and overall, it should be pretty decent for what it has to do. In War Thunder, the Leopard 1 120 will become available with the release of the next major update to all tankers and avid collectors as a new rank 5 premium vehicle of the German ground forces. For fans of the Leopard series, this vehicle represents the binding link between the Leopard 1 and Leopard 2, featuring some distinctive features of both vehicles in a one package, I suppose. From a distance, you'd be forgiven for thinking you're just looking at a standard Leopard A1A1. After all, the large portion of the vehicle's outside appearance remains unchanged. However, when observing the Leopard 1 at a close distance from the front, several changes become apparent. Basically they took the gun shield off because the gun's too big, and I wonder if they took out the stabilizer because the gun's too big. That seems to be the main contention I personally have. When I look at this video and I look how stable this gun is, it looks like they haven't taken out the stabilizer, so I'd like to know how they're fitting the crew in this bloody thing. But yeah, that is just how it is. It wouldn't be a very good rank 5 premium if it didn't have a stabilizer in it, so therefore I'm pretty sure they're going to put a stabilizer in it. I just wish that it would make sense logically, or I could look at the schematics of what was the Leopard 1A6 to make sure it had a bloody stabilizer, because I do not understand how you fit it in this thing. The turret is just not big enough. It's not an elongated turret. The crew still has to fit in it, remember? And there's a reason why the Leopard 2K's turret is a lot larger than the A1A1's, same as the Leopard 2A4's. It's really odd and really weird that they were able to fit a stabilizer in this in real life, or maybe it's a concession that has been made by Gaijin to make it not useless at 9.0. So yeah, that is something to think about. With the pack itself, it's $60, and what you get is the Leopard A1A1 L44, 2,000 Golden Eagles, premium account for 15 days, an MG3 decoration, and also the unique Predator title. So if you want to have a look at the MG3, this is what it looks like. It's a wonderful gun, basically a machine gun, and let's see, so let's go to the Gadget store, and then we have the Golden Eagles. Let's see, 2,000 Golden Eagles. That will be around about, let's say, $10 to be charitable, and then 15 days of premium. 15 days of premium is about $5. So $15 knocked off of that. You're looking at a $45 vehicle. So if you don't have the top echelons of rank 6 for Germany, then this could be something for you to pick up and actually use to grind. I personally wouldn't, just because I don't want to play the top echelons of Germany. I don't want to play the top echelons of anything, because now we're just going to have premiums all over the place at top tier. Germany is already the most popular nation, with the Leopard 2A4, the Leopard 2K, and also the Leopard A1A1, all having win rates way above 60% in the game right now. So maybe this has been added to try and balance that out, to try and bring some noobs in, kind of like how the XM1 did. But overall, I think this is a bad play for the game. I don't like the fact that we have premiums that you can just buy yourself into. Imagine having jet premiums. Imagine having a 9.0 jet. Or even an 8.3 jet, because that's basically what the 9.0s are when it comes to tanks. I think this is a bad move. I thought it was a bad move when the XM1 was released. I explained why it was released, along with the Xbox One stuff, because it was American, yada yada. You can go and watch the videos I did back then. But overall, with this, the T55AM and the XM1, it's just a bad precedent to set overall. It just basically means that if you want to join the game at any point, you can just buy yourself into top tier, where the most experienced players are, and then they're going to absolutely stomp you, and then you're going to leave the game. But at least Gaijin gets $60 out of you. That's the way I see this, and I think it's an awful precedent. I would rather see bundles of vehicles from like rank 2, 3, and 4 in order to be used, in order to be to try and get you into the game. If that was $60, that would be much better than this. Did I read this? I don't think so. In War Thunder, the Leopard 1 will be available. No, I did read this, sorry. So it's coming out in updates 1.81, so you don't have to wait long for it, which is nice. That means that if you want to get your premium German vehicle, you won't have to wait long. The biggest and easiest change to spot is the new 120mm L44 smoothbore cannon that replaces the old 105mm rifled L7. With this upgrade, owners of the new Leopard 1 will be able to confidently engage heavily armored targets at longer distances, as the new cannon is capable of firing more potent sub-caliber rounds, such as the DM13, and with better precision. However, the installation of a more powerful cannon did bring with it some drawbacks as well, namely the additional armor protection found on the Leopard A1A1's gun mantlet had to be removed in order to fit the new cannon. This leaves the gun mantlet of the Leopard 1 more susceptible to damage from enemy fire. What about the stabilizer? What about it? Where is it? How do you fit it? Let me know. It would be really nice. Because all you said there is it loses a little bit of armor on the front, which was useless anyway. So is this literally just going to be a Leopard 1 running around with a stabilized 120? Because that's quite potent, I think would be the word. Actually very potent. The 120 being possibly the best gun in game. Without a doubt. You have the Type 90's 120, then you have the 2A4's 120. Now, will this gun get the same rounds as the Leopard 2A4 120? I highly doubt it. But it'll still get the same rounds as the 2K at a lower BR. Because this thing will be 9.0. Because if they put it any higher, people will be incredibly annoyed. If they put it any lower, it would break the damn game. So, with that said, you're looking at a stabilized 120 with DM13 rounds, as it says, with all the modifications unlocked, including smoke, that you can see on the side of the turret there, including, all the rounds and stuff, which I'm pretty sure will come default anyway. But what you'll get is the speed, which is something that the Leopard 1 and Leopard A1A1 struggle with at the start of their grind. It's something that makes you understand what the Leopard is about. It may be a vehicle that has really bad stock rounds. It may be a vehicle that is hard to get into positions. But once you get them there and once you get the upgrades, you've then learned how the vehicle is supposed to be used, and then you can go forward and do well in it. With this one, you just get all the upgrades off the bat. So, as usual, it's just a wonderful tank straight away. Despite this, experienced Leopard drivers know that the vehicle's strong suit never was armor protection. And that's completely true, but I have bounced a hell of a lot of weird stuff off my turret in my day. But mobility and firepower instead, continuing to utilize these strengths that now got further improved with the new cannon, can only yield better results. That being said, the experimental version of the Leopard 1 is truly a must-have for fans of the Leopard series, and for tanks eager to speed up their research progress through the higher tiers of the German ground forces tree. The Leopard 1 with the 120mm L44 smoothbore gun will be available to War Thunder tankers with the release of the upcoming updates 1.81. Until then, stay tuned for the news for more exciting information regarding the next major update coming to the game very soon. Good hunting, Commanders. So let's actually have a look at all of the stuff that they've shown. Because a lot of it they showed at Gamescom, and others we can make a educated guess. So the first one, 9-0, 9-0, 9-0, 9-0, 10-0, 6-7, 9-0, 8-0 for some reason. So, and I believe the M247 is going to go up in BR. And then we can make an educated guess looking at the T55AM and also the XM1 that the Leopard 1 is going to be 9-0. So far we have one tank which is below rank 5. And it's a rank 4. The Char 25T. As a person who is not interested in top tier, I have no interest in playing top tier, where for me it is a fictional scenario completely. The reason for this is if you go and look at the Challenger historical look they did and also the Type 90 historical look, they are chasing ghosts when it comes to these values, when it comes to the values of the armor, when it comes to the values of these vehicles, because it is all confidential. So now we're getting the T80B, which is still confidential. Maybe this Leopard 1 is not confidential, but I'd still like to see any documentation on the stabilizer itself. But it's once again, we are getting added to the game. Maybe this is because people like 9.0 to 10.0. They probably do. There's a lot of players in this game who are dedicated to top tiers, but I'm just not one of them. I'm not a guy who likes that stuff. I like World War II. and I like the slight parts after it, and the slight parts before it. That's it. And when I see another devblog about another vehicle which is going to be top tier, and it's a premium, I'm just not interested at all. The only thing actually I am interested in to see if it has a stabilizer, and if I can see a schematic of it, because I don't see how it fits. But overall, yeah, as simple as. If you want a tank which will grind you through top tier Germany, if you haven't already done so, then yes, pick this. Because the 2Ks and the 2A4s will be able to carry you better than the Abrams will the XM1, or the T80 will the T55AM. It's as simple as that. If you look at win rates, your best bet at playing top tier and not getting your absolute shit kicked in is the Germans. So have fun with that. I'm just going to go sit and get ready for work and just be annoyed that I still don't have a vehicle that is even anywhere near what I'm looking forward to. Hope you have a wonderful day. I'll see you next time.